Chief Investigative Correspondent Aaron Katersky, and I know a lot of Americans right now wondering what this means for us, potential threats to the homeland. And you've been talking to law enforcement agencies. We know the NYPD and other agencies across the country ramping up their resources. What are some of the biggest concerns right now?
They're already deployed this morning. The NYPD and a number of other police agencies are deploying to cultural, religious, and diplomatic locations associated with both Iran and Israel. The NYPD said this is out of an abundance of caution, not because of any specific threat, though you heard Iran's top diplomat say during Ian's piece that his country reserves all options to retaliate. Iran may be weakened, but it could still order or encourage attacks on U.S. government institutions, infrastructure, and individuals. Proxy groups have struck U.S. military targets before, and Iranian cyber attacks have compromised water and wastewater systems in the U.S. in the past. Iran has also targeted dissidents living in the U.S. and plotted to assassinate President Trump himself over the killing of top Iranian General Qasem Soleimani during Trump's first term. So law enforcement is taking no chances here. Iran will now see the U.S. as a belligerent actor in these hostilities and so the U.S. homeland is considered by Iran now a legitimate target.
And we know that we've already had some lone wolf attacks that have happened recently. We've been operating at this heightened alert level. So how could the posturing change for law enforcement agencies following these attacks on Iran?
Part of the reason police agencies pay attention to these sensitive locations, particularly ones associated with Israel and Iran, is to deter those kind of lone wolf attacks from people who may take not orders or direction from the Iranians, but may be inspired by the events overseas and want to carry out something on their own. Law enforcement officials are very concerned about that.
And I know this may not be something you have the answer to yet, but like for people living in New York, for example, what could it actually look like? I mean, are we going to see more patrol cars, more officers on the streets?
And we've seen that ever since October 7th, haven't we? So that kind of posture isn't necessarily going to be new. One of the things that agencies are looking at, though, behind the scenes are the cyber capabilities of the Iranians. They've shown to be very sophisticated, even in a weakened state politically now or militarily. They could still launch cyber attacks. Those have targeted U.S. infrastructure in the past, so look for electric grids, wastewater treatment plants, those kinds of sites to be on guard.
All right, we have a lot to follow this morning. Aaron, thank you so much.